was one of the rooms that flooded, and I lost several things in the flood. And unfortunately, they were personal things for the most part.
So for book, because it ends in K, we're just going to add an S, and it becomes books.
The flood was, yeah, that was pretty bad. That happened in the middle of the night, and they did a great job. They took everything out of the classroom, they cleaned it all up and put everything back in. But when we came in the morning, we had to go through everything that had been on the floor. And we have posters that go up in our rooms, and all of those were in cardboard boxes on the floor. And those all got wet. We had to take them all out, dry them all off. And then I lost my bean bags, my rugs. They were able to clean the big rug, but my personal rugs I lost, and a ton of posters. So I tried not to let it interfere with school, but everything was drying out all over the classroom. So the kids at one point were trying to help me dry them off a little bit. But yeah, so that was a rough day.
The water that drips at Albion, it's like you could trip and fall on it, and it's very distracting.
It makes me feel a little nervous because I don't want there to be it to start leaking in the 2nd grade hallways, or have a flood in the 2nd grade hallways.
My heater exploded in my classroom overnight one night. When it exploded, what happened was it has hot water. It's a boiler, so it keeps the water really hot, and it started just shooting hot water out all over the desks. They took care of it. The tiles on the floor came up, and they fixed that. But if that had exploded when kids were in there, it's I don't know how hot it is, but they said it's 200 degrees or something. It's really hot. And it could have been really dangerous if the kids had been sitting there, because I have desks not right in front of it, but close to it, and it could have been really dangerous for the kids. Another thing is the heaters. My classroom, it's either 90 degrees or 20 degrees. It's freezing or it's really, really hot, especially in the winter. And that makes it really hard to learn. And then when it's the warmer months, even if it's only 85 outside or 80, it gets to 90, 95. It can be 100 degrees in our classroom. And the kids can't learn. We lose a whole afternoon. Every time it's 85 degrees, the kids are so tired and so hot in the afternoon, they can't learn. So, we keep going, but it's really hard for them.
Since I have eczema, it gets very irritated when it's hot and when it's cold. And since I've gone to the middle school, my eczema has been cleared up, and it's been so much better.
We'll be in one classroom, and it's really nice because one will have air conditioning, and then you go in the hallway in one part of the school, and it's still not that bad. Then you go to a completely different side. It's burning hot.
For my literature class, I go in with a winter coat, and I walk to my history class, and I'm in my swimsuit.
I know in one of my classes we have all of the windows open, and we have some air circulating, and it's still just so extremely hot that I'm sitting there pouring down sweat trying to learn.
We worked with the conditions that we have, but it's so hot, and then it's just so cold, and it is hard to concentrate. And I just think that we're such a good school, and we have such a good community that we should have better than this.
You would think that a nice good educated school, well-educated school, would have a nice building. You would want to walk in and feel this is such a nice place, but then you walk in and you're it's so hot in here.
My hope as a teacher in this district, also a parent in this district, I'm hoping it passes. Our students need to be safe, warm,